the parallels between life and a video game are so amazing, they're so interesting that you can learn so much about life by looking at how games are made, how they work, and how you play them. I loved playing games when I was a kid, and I still do love playing them. I don't play them very much anymore because I've sort of lost interest in the gaming aspect itself, and I'm starting to see that life has a lot of parallels to gaming. So many parallels. I'll give you one example here in this video. I want you to think about something that you know that you want to do. Something that's been on your mind, maybe it's been on your mind for years, for a very long time, and you know that you got to do that thing. It could be have a difficult conversation with somebody. It could be ask that girl out. It could be leave your job and try and start a business on your own. It could be whatever else. Anything. I mean, it could be whatever. It's different. It could be, make a video and post it, or write a blog post, or the thing that you last asked somebody, for example, should I do this, or should I do that, or should I do this? That is a task in a larger quest, and you cannot progress further in that quest until you complete that task. When you're playing a game, you have something called a quest menu. And in that quest menu, there's a description of the quest and who you're supposed to talk to. And it tells you what the next action is that you're supposed to do. Right? Or if it doesn't tell you exactly what to do, it gives you some idea of the thing that you need to accomplish next. And no matter what you do in this game, you could do all other kinds of side quests. You could go explore the entire world. You can find all the glitches that you can. You are not going to progress in that game. You are not going to progress the storyline unless you do that very particular action. And it's the same thing in life. It's exactly the same thing. There was somebody that I was meaning to contact for a very long time, like 6 months or something like that. And I said, yeah, I'll call you. We'll get in touch. And I didn't do anything. I just sat on it. Like, I didn't want to contact him. I kept putting it off. I didn't want to do it. But in my mind, it kept, like, I don't know if it was in my mind or whatever, but there was something that always brought me back and reminded me of, like, oh, hey, this is the thing that you got to do. Remember that, remember that, remember that, remember that. And I couldn't move past it. So last week I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Whatever. I'm going to contact this guy and we're going to have a chat and we'll see what happens. Okay? So I did, and in about a week I decided, okay, we're not going to work together. And now it's not on my mind anymore. It's only an example that I'm sharing with you. So that was a task in the quest, and I couldn't progress forward. I couldn't progress forward in the game of life until I finished that task and overcame it, right? That's what people mean when they say overcome something. And you know that there's things that you got to do. Like, there's a lot of things that you know that unresolved trauma, for example, or you got to do this or that, or something that you're afraid of doing. That is the indication of what the next task for you is. Fear is your quest. What is it? Fear is your quest description, your quest menu. And no matter what you do, you could travel the world, you could get a new job, you could leave one relationship and go into the next relationship. But whatever it is that you got to overcome is going to still be there. And you just cannot progress unless you go and take care of that very particular task. And it's a little bit different from a game, right? Because in a game, there's a particular thing that you have to do. Maybe there's a particular NPC that you have to talk to. There's a particular item that you have to deliver. You have to go through a particular area of the map in a certain way. It's not exactly the same way in life. In life, it's a little bit different. It might not be essentially with the same person. It might not be in the same situation. But it's going to be the same spiritual challenge. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you a very good example. At the large enterprise, the small enterprise software company that I used to work at, there was a person who was very dissatisfied with the job, wasn't happy, didn't like it, wanted something new. Okay? So what happened is that this person, after some time of not being happy, not being satisfied, not liking the situation, got a new job. And when this person got a new job, I asked, "Oh, how's it going? How's it?" And in the beginning, very happy. This person was very happy. Liked it, enjoyed it. Team is great. Everything is great. Amazing, right? I can bring my dog to work. Things are going great. And then after about some time, maybe 6 months or a year, I don't know, they start saying the same thing as they did in the old job. How do you like it? Oh, things could be better. I'm not really that satisfied. Starting to get overwhelmed. I think I'm ready for something new. That person has a task that they need to do, but since they're not doing it, they're going to be stuck at that level forever. Well, not forever. I mean, they could do something about it, but that's the thing that I'm trying to say. It's not going to always be the same situation. It's not always going to be the same person or the same environment. It's going to be the same spiritual challenge. And I noticed this after 2 jobs. The first job that I had, I left it for a very particular set of reasons. And I thought it was because of the job. I thought it was the environment, the people, the culture, etc. The second job that I left, and it's interesting why I didn't realize it while I was in the middle of the process, but the second job that I left, I saw that I left it for exactly the same reasons as the first job. So at that point I said to myself, wait a minute, it's not the job, it's not the culture, it's not the people, it's none of those things. It's got to be because those are all variables that changed. Every single variable was like different in those scenarios. The only constant was me. And so because of that, I almost missed my exit. Because of that, I realized that there's something that I got to do. There's a task in my quest that I got to figure out what is it that I got to do. And it's not really something that I had to figure out because I knew what it was all along. I was just avoiding looking at my quest menu. I was avoiding going into the fear. I was avoiding doing those things that I knew I needed to do, those things that were on my mind. I was just avoiding them, and I knew I had to do them. Well, not had to, right? You always have the choice. You have a choice to not progress the game if you want. But I knew that in order to progress my life, I would have to do the next step in that game. So let me ask you, what is it that you got to do? What's your next task in your quest? What do you got to do to progress your story? Think about it.